Hello chess family, it's me National Master Jesse James, and today I'm going to be going over some games I got to play against the very famous Anna Cramling. Alright, in the first game right here, I am actually playing with the white pieces. Let's see how it goes. I start with e4, she went d6, the Pierce defense or the perk, depending how you like to say it. Oh, by the way, these games are all from this year. I've been playing her in a lot of the bullet games from the Bullet Brawl on Saturdays. d4, I'm always going to take a good center whenever I can. Pawn to e6. I'm not too sure about this move. Maybe this was a mouse slip and she meant to go e5. Or maybe this is just, well, another way to play. Anyways, I'm happy to see this. f4. I'm going to go ahead and grab that center all by myself. Why not? Knight d7. Another very common move here. Knight f3. Knight b6. Here we go. e5. Of course, I like to control the center. I don't know why the computer doesn't like this. I sure do. Knight over to e7. Pawn to c3. If you watch my games, you know I love to grab this pawn structure. This is an attacking pawn structure saying, hey, I'm aiming this way. Remember, the pawn structure will point to where you will attack. All right, knight to g6 got played. Again, I'm happy to see the knight here. There's always ideas like h4, h5 in the future. But first things first, let's get this bishop out. Bishop to d3, bishop b7, and castles. I'm always going to castle as soon as possible so I can get my king side attack going. Pawn takes, castles over here. Queen to e1. Here I have the standard plan of queen to g3 and then maybe h4, h5. You can see here I already have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pieces already aimed over at this king side. So, yep, that's where I'm going. c5, a very good move for her. Unfortunately, because her knight's not on c6, there's not too much good pressure on d4 here. King to h1. Seems like a weird move, but there'll be checks in the future with the queen going over to this diagonal. So, it's usually good whenever you move your f-pawn just to move this guy over. Pawn takes, bishop to d7, another very good move, getting her last minor piece out. And yeah, I have to worry about this plan over here. Getting rid of the knight means that you can win the pawn here on d4. All right, knight c3, bishop d7, bishop b3, defending the pawn from those bishop takes f3 threats. Knight to d5, bishop d2, I don't want to lose my good dark square bishop. Takes, I mean, I'm very happy with this pawn structure now. And, well, as far as computer says, it's about an even game here. Rook over, pawn to a6, queen to g3. Now I'm ready for some kind of kingside attack over here. Queen over to d5. I'm very happy to see this. The queen here was guarding this h4 square. Remember I mentioned this h4, h5 idea? Now I get to get it. h4 now gets played. h5, h6, maybe even bishop to h6 in some variations. And the knight took here. Here, well, she can grab a pawn here. It's just not the best. I have a lot of pieces attacking. And, well, hopefully you notice that after knight takes, bishop takes, I cannot take back because of the checkmate threat on g2. Here I went ahead and played queen to h3, which is the best move. And here you see that I've actually pinned it, and now I'm putting pressure on this h7 square for checkmate. All right, g5, yeah, not the best here. And here I played rook to e1, not the best. Here you can actually just snack on the pawn with g5, although maybe that's not the best, as she can just trade off here with queen takes on g2, queen takes, bishop takes, king takes, and then bishop takes. Yeah, this looks actually pretty good here. So, yep, my former self did not betray it. Here my threat is either to play bishop to e4 or rook over to e4 right here. All right, here we go. h5 was played. Definitely a little too aggressive here in my opinion. Here we go. Rook to e4. Queen takes, bishop takes on g5 now. Of course, she's more than welcome to snack on this rook, but here with the king side opening up, this is a checkmate square over here on h7. Takes, queen takes, bishop takes, f5, and this was really the only good way to try and guard over here. Here I was a bit sloppy, but this is a winning position here. Of course, I'm sure everybody's excited. We're going to go en passant here, which only makes sense because if you don't do this, the bishop can't help out with the attack. And you can't take on f6 here as the bishop's hanging, or queen h7 is going to be checkmate. All right, here we go. Rook f7, queen takes check, king over to f8, queen to h6 check, king to e8, and here I missed the best idea. Bishop to g6 here. And here I played the check, and this actually loses the full advantage. Although the king is still unsafe here, and I was able to win this game, yes, that bishop g6 would have been far stronger here, threatening a good checkmate, or maybe just winning the rook outright. Here after king to d7, my queen realizes she has nowhere to go. So let's go ahead and retreat. Queen back to h3. Rook over to f8. I was planning on d5 here, but now rook takes f6 is being threatened. Very good move by Anna. So queen to h4 to defend. Queen over to b3, trying to look about some pawns. Rook f3. Remember, this is a bullet game. Now both of us are definitely getting into time trouble. Queen d1 check, king h2, queen to c1 here. Yeah, unfortunately not the best move here. d5, I want to open up this king with pawn takes over here. Maybe get some bishop checks in here. I mean, the king is over here, so I just need to make some trades here so I can defend. And here, I guess she just blundered. Again, she was very long time at this point, I'm sure. Queen takes on c3, so free money. Let's just go ahead. Well, I did a check right here, and then I took this free queen. The game doesn't last much longer. Rook takes, bishop takes, rook over to f4, queen to f4, rook f5, queen g7, and at this point, I believe she did flag. All right, let's go on to our next game. We got 3 games that I got to play against her. This was the first one I got to play. This is our second game over here, and, well, here we go. d4, knight f6. It looks like this time I am playing the black pieces. Pawn to c4, e6. Looks like we might be playing a lot of different openings right here. One of the benefits of playing the knight f6, e6 is I can play bishop b4, depending on what she plays. With knight c3 for a Nimzo Indian, I can play pawn c5, switch into a modern Bayoni. I can play a queen's Indian over here, b6, or maybe even d5 for the queen's gambit. That's one of the good things whenever you play this little pawn, this little knight out pawn e6. There's so many different openings here. Because she played knight c3, I played pawn to d5. Here, I'm not sure why I didn't play my Nimzo Indian, which I do like to play. But, yeah, d5 is also a good way to play. Now we're kind of transposing into a queen's gambit declined. Pawn takes, bishop to g5. Very good move here. Of course, you want to bring the bishop to g5 before you play pawn to e3. Bishop b7, just defending. e3, castles, bishop d3. Pawn to b6. This has been a way I've been experimenting on development. I must say, I'm not too sure if I like it just yet. Knight f3, c5. Here I'll be giving myself these hanging pawns over here on c5 and d5. Castles, knight c6, rook to c1, c4. Here I was very happy to get this because now you see I get a very nice bind on the light squares. Bishop back to b1, of course. Bishop g4, h3, bishop back, g4. Definitely a very aggressive move. One I wouldn't think I'd be seeing if this was a longer time control, but since it's bullet, you know, anything can go. Bishop back, knight e5, bishop takes. This trade, I believe, is just going to be good for me because a lot of times what white does is go for kingside attack, so trading off this bishop is going to help me out with my defense. Takes, rook over to c8, just continuing development here. e4, and, well, this just looks like a free pawn, right? Pawn takes, d5, rook over to c5, bishop back over here. A very good move. If she doesn't do this, then d5 would have been lost. Rook back to c8, g5, knight e8, knight takes on e4. She did a very good job winning her pawn back. I still do have an advantage here because of the weird pawns over here, but again, as far as material goes, it's about equal. Knight d6, trades will not hurt me here. Takes, queen to d4. I like this very aggressive move. Bishop c5, queen over to f4, bishop d6. Here I just missed a free pawn. Queen to f5, rook e8. Development's going to be my friend over here. Bishop d4. c4. I do have the 3 pawns versus 2, meaning I should be able to create a passed pawn over here eventually. Now the game is actually back to equal. Rook to e1, queen c7, h4, bishop f8. She's doing a good job here. Although I will say her kingside was a bit weak, she's actually started making a very nice kingside attack over here. And she knows all the space over here, or has all the space over here. h5, rook over to d8, h6, queen to d6. Yeah, I don't believe taking here would be a good idea as queen to f6, and now you see the dark squares are just lost over here, and I'm either going to be losing a piece or getting checkmated very soon. So I played queen to d6, takes, queen f6. I'm not too sure why she played this. Maybe it was a miscalculation, but this is just a free pawn, so snack attack, let's go ahead and take it. Takes, king over g2. Yeah, this is a very good rook and pawn endgame for me. I should be able to trade off 1 pair of rooks, and I'm gonna be up. I'm already up a pawn, and this d5 pawn is pretty weak here. So trade, takes, pawn to f4. Here we're in the bullet game, like I said, so we're starting to play fast now. Check over here, terrible move. Luckily for me, she did miss this. I'm pretty sure I meant to play rook to h5, or maybe I did mean to play rook g5. I'm not too sure what the time on this part was. We still have a good 10 more moves left, though. King f3, rook back to d5, rook over to h1, rook d2. The faster I can win this pawn, the faster I can create my pass pawn over here. Rook takes, rook check, king back, rook to c6, a good move stopping pawn to c3. Rook takes, I've got too many passed pawns now for her to stop. Yep, let's just defend the b pawn, and then the c pawn can start rolling again. Rook c7, pawn push, check, king back, check, Rook c4, very nice idea. Now I'm cutting off over here, and the game is over. Here f5 was played, and I took, and well, that's it. All right, time for our last game. In the last game, she did get me. A little prelude about what's going to happen. She did get me in this game. This was a very fun one, and this one was definitely in that bullet bash. Here we go. I got the black side again. She played d4, knight f6, c4, e6, knight c3, pawn to d5. Looks like I like playing this Queen's Gambit decline against her. Pawn takes, bishop g5, just like last time. c6, not as aggressive, and maybe I need to be a little bit more aggressive when I play against her. Pawn to e3, bishop d6, bishop d3, knight to d7, knight to f3. I definitely like white in this position. Knight f8, oof, a very interesting idea. Here I have the g6 or e6 to run to. Knight to e5, I definitely think this is the best move. And yeah, she gets a very good position here. h6, g5, going for it. Bishop back, bishop over to e6, f4. And this is one of the best plans whenever you have this knight here over here on e5. f4 is just going to help cement the knight there, but also maybe even open up the h-file in some of these variations. Yeah, I definitely did not play too good in this game, and she definitely punished me. Pawn takes, queen over to b6. I need some pawns over here. Bishop c2, okay, and I went ahead and castled. Here, I'm a little wary about grabbing pawns, but I definitely think I should have taken on b2 here. Castles is definitely a decent move, but, well, look at her pieces. They're very much happy here. And here she pushes me back. f5, bishop back, knight takes. Now I just blundered. Here, knight takes on f7, and she's going to be grabbing at least the exchange. Bishop takes check, pawn takes, rook check, knight to e5. Here I was able to sneak out of not losing the exchange. Rook over to g8. I got some targets here, so I'd say the game is roughly about equal, although the advantage is half a pawn up to her. But, well, she still needs to get her king to safety. Knight to e4, a nice move here, guarding b2, and now the d4 pawn's defended. Queen check, queen to d2, definitely the best idea here. And here I played queen d6 because I didn't want to make the trade. And you can definitely understand that because, well, with the king in the center, this is good. But now she got that tempo she needed. She just castles queenside. All right, here we go. Rook takes on g3, winning my pawn back. Knight to c5, pawn to b6. Takes, takes, takes. Ugh, she's just getting too active over here. Knight takes, takes, takes. And, well, I guess, again, we're roughly about equal here. It's 4 pawns to 4 pawns. Knight versus bishop, I guess, is the major thing in this position. Although I do like that all my pawns are together. But she does have 2 passed pawns over here. All right, rook to g6, making some trades. Makes sense. Rook to e3. I try to triple up here. I don't want to make any trades. Something like rook e2 is what I'm threatening over here. And she plays g4. Passed pawns must be pushed. Here she comes. Rook e2, queen c3. Queen takes. I'm surprised I didn't play the queen to f4 check here. But here I think I see the idea what I want to do. After pawn takes rook g2, the idea is not to try and win the pawn so much as trying to double up rooks. But this is a bullet game, and hopefully you see my blunder. What did she play here? Simple chess. Rook takes on f6. It's just a free knight. All right, here we go. Rook over. Rook check, king up. Rook check, king up. Rook check, king up. And bishop to a4. Here I do note she was very low on time. I think she only had like seconds left while I still had like a good 10 to 15. And so I played really fast here and played rook takes on a2, hanging mate and 1. White to move. What do you play here for checkmate and 1? She did not miss it with only a few seconds left on the clock, and she played it. Rook takes on c6, and that's going to be the end of our games, at least for now. I'm hoping to play some more games against her. But as far as it goes right now, it's 2-1 in my favor. And, well, I'm pretty sure we'll be playing some more games, and we'll see how those go. All right, guys, hope you like this. Go ahead and give us a like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video.